there. My name's Jessica. I'm one of the leaders at Harvest Ministries, and I just wanted to do a quick live just to explain a little bit about what's been on our hearts as it relates to this weekend that we've got scheduled next weekend. So we've got a Breaking Open the Wells of Revival weekend that we've scheduled, and I know that that's kind of like a buzz phrase. You know, it's the kind of thing that people have been saying for so many years, but I just wanted to take a second and just jump on here and just explain sort of where we're coming from and even my own personal experience as it relates to this. So at the end of May, we celebrated our 10th anniversary of Spirit Cafe, which is amazing. So we've seen, you know, hundreds and thousands of people come to Jesus through that, loads of healings, loads of other churches and groups been mobilized to really do the New Testament stuff and cooperate with the Holy Spirit in that. So we're really, really thankful for all that's been. But during this event on the last night, there was something really amazing that happened, and we feel as though it has a prophetic significance, that it was for then, but also that it's for like in the future, that it's for now. So just wanted to describe a little bit about where I'm coming from with that. So I was part of the revival that started in Toronto in 1994. We moved back there in 1995, so I wasn't there right at the beginning, but I'm saying that to say that I've experienced a lot of moves of the Holy Spirit. I've been in the presence of God many, many, many times, and although I feel God's presence really easily personally, I'm not often overwhelmed by it. Like, I know some people are often overwhelmed, and which is great. You know, that's fine, that's good. But for me, I've experienced it so many times through my life that I'm not easily overwhelmed. So I'm just saying that to say that what happened to me that night was really significant, because this kind of thing doesn't happen to me very often. Oh, sorry, horns honking in the background. So basically, the evening started as normal, and we had some worship, and something started to happen in the worship where it was like I don't know, it's like something tangible in the air. The air gets a little bit electric, and I could just feel God was about to do something. So it just sort of had that something's about to happen feeling in the air. And anyway, so I was just overwhelmed with that, and I could feel God's presence in the room in a beautiful way, like I would very often. It's not super unusual for me to feel His presence in the room, but then I went up to my mom, who was leading worship at the time, and I was like, something's about to happen. I just knew, I just said it, something's about to happen. And so they sort of stayed on that song for a while, and there was this, I had this urge in myself to we have this wooden stick that we use to open the windows up high. And I just had this urge to take the stick and just sort of bang the ground, like in a percussion instrument sort of way, bang the ground. But I dismissed that, and I thought, no, I don't want to just do something to get attention over it, so I was sort of battling that feeling. But anyway, then we had some guest speakers there that weekend, and so I ended up getting a prophetic word from two of their interns who were there, and I can't actually remember their names now, which is not great. But anyway, they were from Westonshire and Boxall's church, and so one of them said that they could see God handing me this staff that was for breaking open the ground, and it was actually a confirmation of what I had been feeling but sort of dismissing. So I went and got this stick that we had, and I just thought, I'll just bang it on the ground a couple times and just see what that feels like. And it was just like this incredibly powerful shockwave feeling it was just like, whoa, what is that? And the Holy Spirit just sort of broke out and took over the meeting. And then as I'm sort of walking around, others are praying, and there's declarations that are going out, and all of this. And anyway, so I'm walking around, and I'm carrying this stick, and it was started to feel like I was walking through something really, really thick, like I was walking through mayonnaise, or I don't know, it's maybe something silly to say, but it was like a thick, viscous thing that I was walking through, and it got more and more difficult for me to walk. And anyway, So as I'm hitting the ground and just have this incredible, overwhelming, like this is like the old wells, the ancient wells of revival, not just, in the last couple hundred years, but going back almost 2,000 years. Like Christianity in the UK, revival's been happening here pretty much since, the early church. Like some of the original disciples and apostles actually came to Britain. So revival goes back really, really far here. And some of those wells have been covered over. And I just knew that this prophetic thing that was happening, where God was just taking over, and there was all these declarations that were happening, were about the wells of revival that were being opened. Now, this was on the last night of our event, sort of our anniversary celebration event. And although we knew that it was something for then, we also knew that it represented somehow something that God was about to do. And so, following on from that, we have just felt like we aren't finished, or rather the Holy Spirit isn't finished with whatever that was about, declarations. And, I don't really know what it's going to look like, other than we expect the Holy Spirit to be there, and we're going to give him permission to take over, and whatever that means. There'll be worship and prophetic declaration, and there'll be some intercession, and there'll be some teaching. We've got Alf and Pam Dick, who are friends of ours and pastors from Abbotsford, Canada. They've been leading churches for over 20 years, and networks and stuff as well, of other leaders. So it's going to be a great weekend. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about where that's coming from, what the significance of it is. I mean, we don't actually know what's going to happen this weekend, but I know that there was something profound that God started at the end of May. So we just want to get on board with that, and we want to do what he's doing, and we know that this is a moment. This is a now moment, and God's going to do something big. And so we just are wanting to position ourselves. So I know that, like, opening the wells of revival, all of this is kind of buzzwords, and people use them and have used them for decades, but that doesn't change the fact that that's what we felt, and that's what we believe God's doing. And so we want to go with that. We want to do what he's doing. So if you're free next weekend and you want to come and help us break open those ancient wells of revival in this nation, then come and join us, and we'll see what